So the margin was amazing on that product, and we actually, I think the first week we did like 17,000. If you're gonna get the money, but if you're gonna lose a member of your family, that money is not gonna matter to you.
100%.
You know, especially for the people who lives in Dubai, bro. You have got the biggest networking, the biggest opportunity. Salary is such a big drug. You guys do not understand, bro.
Dude, with any business, it doesn't matter if you're a PhD, whatever. If you don't know how to sell, the chances of you scaling it's very slim.
The Infinite Perspective Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Infinite Perspective. Today I have with me Ahsan, a 19-year-old entrepreneur who went from a dancing TikToker to a millionaire in 3 years. Ahsan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for the invitation, my bro. I appreciate it. And yeah, as he introduced me, I literally went from a TikToker who used to make TikToks about funny videos, dancing and stuff like that, to a millionaire. And all of that happened within changing my perspective on how I want to work my life out. And yeah, it's all about the mindset game. And today, inshallah, I'm going to share a lot of values and a lot of, tips that could potentially help you guys, inshallah, with your journey. Because I know it's not easy going from a broke person to a millionaire. It's very hard and it's not overnight. It's literally work of 3 years.
Definitely.
But those 3 years actually paid off, and alhamdulillah for the position that I'm in right now.
MashaAllah, man, that's amazing. And I think that serves as a great example for people our age, Gen Zs. So I know you've mentioned before that it wasn't just 3 years. You've actually been working since you were 14, which is kind of relatable. So do you want to walk us through your entire journey and what major lessons you learned on the way?
For sure. So it was a pretty long journey. I'll try to go as short as interesting possible. I started my YouTube channel at 14 because my friend told me you could actually make money from YouTube. And as a young kid, I was fond of actually, trying to make money and, getting my parents or, my family members something that would surprise them, make them happy in any way possible. So I started looking into YouTube and into monetizing it and stuff like that. And yeah, I did YouTube for 2 years, completely failed at it.
What was the channel about?
It was a channel about literally eating food and, doing challenges, hot takis and stuff like that. Stuff that used to blow up back in the days.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so, every year there's every 2-3 years there's phases that you can actually take advantage of. For example, in the past, when 2014, 15, 16, 17, those years, it was all about eating, challenges and all of that stuff. After 2017, gaming started to blow up, until 2020, 2021. After 2021, it's all about self-improvement, money making. That's what's actually blowing up currently.
And all.
That's what's really blowing up right now. So alhamdulillah, through all of the phases of my year, when I tried the challenges, I completely failed at it. When I tried the gaming, I completely failed at it until, alhamdulillah, the right opportunity came for me when I started dropshipping 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I saw people making money through dropshipping, but I never was interested in it because I didn't have a card, like a debit card and stuff like that. And I was too scared to even get inside it, I thought it's impossible for me to make money through dropshipping, How does that even make sense, And the only way that I saw it was through YouTube. But I started TikTok. And from TikTok, I started making videos about funny content about UAE, sort of dancing here and there, which is really cringe. But alhamdulillah, for the phase that I've, for me getting out of that phase and stuff like that, everything happens for a reason. So yeah, when I started my TikTok, I actually got a promotion for a product that was for dropshipping. So the promoter actually paid me around 800 dirhams in the first week of me promoting the product. And I actually got the product viral in UAE because my TikTok was actually doing really good. After the video blew up, the guy paid me 800 and I was curious, this is one of the biggest payments I've ever received.
Yeah.
How did I do it? Through one video? It doesn't seem possible. I asked him, how much did you make? He's like, I'll be honest with you, we made 8,000. And we paid you 10% of it, 800 dirham.
For promotion.
Yeah, for promoting it. So I was like, okay, perfect. Let me try to start dropshipping if you could teach me. He's like, I will teach you, but it's expensive. I was like, how much? He said, it's 500 dirhams every week. So I said, 500 dirhams sounds a lot, bro. How am I even gonna like try to budget out?
This was for private counseling and stuff.
Exactly, private mentorship type stuff, you know, because the guy didn't have a course or anything like that, and there was no one else that would help you, you know, through dropshipping or e-commerce. Yeah. Even right now, it's very hard to find, you know, people to actually help you out, you know.
Genuinely help you out, yeah.
Genuinely, yeah. But that's what we have made possible, alhamdulillah, and that's why, you know, being early to the business always gets you the success point.
Yeah, man, definitely.
You know,
consistency.
100%. So as soon as I got the mentorship for a week, I literally canceled it the next week, because when I got the mentorship, I paid the 500 or something. I wasn't getting the replies. I used to call the person, I'm going to call with someone else, I'll give you a call back, I need help, I'm going to text you later. So I didn't get the help that I wanted, you know. After the first week, for the next 6 months, all I used to do was side hustle, TikTok, college, and make money on any sort of part-time jobs for the next 6 months.
Before you actually bought the whole mentorship thing, did you have any second thoughts or like any
No, I was all in for it, you know. Alhamdulillah, as a kid, I've been taking opportunities left, right, and center, bro.
There was no second thoughts, nothing holding you back at all?
Not at all. You know, when I went all on YouTube, I went all on it. When I went all on TikTok, I went all on it, you know, and that's why I got a bit successful with it, you know.
So after you got exposed a little bit to the dropshipping scene and you weren't getting the replies, so did you try to self-learn after that whole...
Exactly. So look, the first week was the most important phase of dropshipping for me, because of course the mentor taught me a lot of things that I wanted and I needed it in order to do dropshipping here in Dubai.
Yeah.
Because without those things, it's almost impossible to actually start up a journey here in Dubai. So I was really intrigued, and then after after the 6 months of me doing part-time jobs and all of this stuff, I used to spend a lot of money too. Like that's one other mistake that I had. I used to like make money, spend it, make money, spend it. Yeah. But I'm not talking about like crazy spending. Like I spend 1K per day. No, like 50, 100 dirham per day. I would spend it. You know, which was a lot for me back in the days. You know, because like I used to make 50 maybe per day, or maybe not even 50 in a day. You know, because some days would be off, some days would be on. Maybe I would get a promotion, maybe not, and maybe there would be a part-time job, maybe not. So it was really hard for me, you know. So yeah, after I started learning by myself, after the 6th month, I had almost no money. There was a competition for my college, which is Talented Student of the Year. And this is their first time doing something like this, just because they want to get more exposure and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try. The prize is 700 dirhams for you to actually win it. And I actually took part in it. And surprisingly, there wasn't much people trying to take part because they were talentless. If you're in college, you probably don't have
Most
any
people
talent.
think that way as well.
Yeah, and especially if you weren't so social and stuff like that, you know, and you didn't do any sort of like other stuff along with school, because some people just stick through school or through college, which is in a way a big mistake. You know, you have to have something going on the side to keep you productive and healthy and stuff like that. So what I did was I created a simple editing video where I edited and I added some, you know, VFX and stuff like that, because I used to edit for a long time.
Same here, man. That's
amazing. So I won the prize, and then I had the 700 dirhams. Now I'm thinking I have to get back into dropshipping. There's no way I spend this money without actually trying to make something out of it. So I created the store. The store was already created actually. So I just went and saw what's winning product right now. I saw the sunset lamp is being posted by every single person. Like 2.5 years ago, sunset lamp was blowing up, you know. Every girl had it, every guy had it.
Can you like describe the product?
It's basically like a lamp, and when you turn it on, it basically makes it look like there's a sun behind it.
It's like a halo kind of thing with different colors.
Like with the picture, that's like black and white, but when you turn it on, it's colorful and stuff.
It's yellow. It's like basically like golden hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I started, you know, ordering 30 pieces of that product. All right. I ordered 30 pieces and it was exactly, I remember, like 670 dirhams for the 30 pieces.
Okay.
You know. So I had like 30 dirhams left. 30 dirhams, of course, went on the food or something. I'm not really sure. I spent it. But after that, I realized that, you know, when I received the product, after a few days, like around 12 days, I was curious, how am I even going to promote this product? Because now I don't have money for advertising, you know, in TikTok. That time, there wasn't something like organic TikTok or organic marketing. It was all paid. Like, oh, you pay Facebook ads, you pay Instagram ads, you pay Snapchat ads. So at that point, alhamdulillah, something clicked through my mind. I had this Emirati friend influencer who was doing really good, and I knew this product would be amazing for Emiratis. So I hit up my friend. I gave him one piece of the product. He received it on a Thursday night, so he was posting it like while the next day was Friday. As soon as he posted, I got 75 plus orders. I completely went out of stock, and I had extra stock that I had to take care of, you know? And it was one of the happiest nights of my life. Like,
what was your return on the lamps?
Return was crazy because I actually sold them for like, the way that we do it is very, very smart.
Yeah.
So we add the product cost, we add the delivery cost, and we add the advertisement cost.
Yeah.
That time I didn't have the advertisement cost. And we double it into 2. So for example, if everything is 60, we put the product price
the margin
as
is 100% on everything.
50% in profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 50% in profit for each and every single product. We actually have 50% profit margin because 50 would be the expenses, 50 would be for us.
Yeah.
So the margin was amazing on that product, and we actually, you know, I think the first week we did like 17,000 because of course the order didn't stop. I never in my website I never put like only limited stock of 30 because in Shopify you can put like how many stocks do you have, and I put it 9, you know, so I never run out of stock even if I get more orders.
So but like, I mean, it obviously takes time to get the product delivered. So like, how did you manage getting out of stock, but at the same time on the website it's like you're not out of stock? Like, how did you manage the clients? And
it's a very good question. So one of the ways was actually message them on WhatsApp and telling them in Arabic that hey, we are out of stock because of so many high orders. If you would be patient with us, we will get your order first. You know, we'll deliver your order first, and the exact same message would send it to every single one of those customers. You know?
That's smart, man.
Yeah. So they would feel a bit special, and they're like, no, it's completely fine. Don't worry about it. You know, whenever you get the stock, send it to us, no problem. And the other good thing was that this product wasn't available on Amazon and all of these places.
Yeah, exactly.
And we was first to it, so there wasn't any sort of competition. People used to get from Shein, you know.
Yeah.
Shein is like, it takes like 30 days, 20 days to ship it for you. So that's the beauty of dropshipping. If you're early to a product, even if you take 12 days to fulfill it, you still can actually make a lot of money out of it.
And you know, it's cool because, look, I've been a sales guy pretty much for like the past 2 years, ever since I got into real estate. If the property is good, now this is just an example, I believe this kind of relates to it, it's going to sell itself. Like your sales skills don't matter. The way you present, it doesn't matter. If the property is good, it's going to sell.
100%.
Conversely, if the property is shit, no matter how good of an agent you are, it's going to be really hard to sell. Now, the same thing with the product. So you've mentioned like it took time to get the stock back in. You added all of your costs on top of it, and you added a profit margin that was basically the price on top of itself. But it's still sold. And that's because of the 100%. Product.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And that applies to literally everything. If you're early to any business in life, you could actually win in it, you know? And I would give you guys a great example of it. Hustlers Ecom, my mentorship program, you know? There was no one actually trying to teach you dropshipping and e-commerce. And that's when I came.
Specifically in UAE. And there was people, you know, trying to get money off of you, you know, filming a few videos in Dubai and leaving the country, going back to their home country and like, you know, trying to get the students from here. You know, that's what their whole goal was. For me, when I saw the opportunity, I knew that when I started out, I didn't have a proper mentor, and I knew how to be a good mentor. I learned the lessons that I needed to learn, you know? Yeah.
So for me, what was important was student satisfaction, you know? So that's what I made. Like, I made my first ever course, and I sold it to around 16 people without having any videos, you know? And the reason why I did that is because I was struggling with making videos, because I was trying to find a spot, trying to find a place and everything, but I still made a pre-launch for the whole course. We got 16 people inside. We actually told them the course will be out on 21, something around that. I think it was last year, 21 September, I think. That's when the date was out. And we actually got it out on the exact same night that we promised. And it turned out amazing. And we made another course literally 2 months after the initial course, because I learned like, okay, this course had students asking me this question and this and this. I need to make another course to clarify all of these questions, so that's 100% genuine.
Being proactive.
Yes, exactly.
So one of the things that I see with you specifically, I mean, there's a lot of qualities it takes to become an entrepreneur. there's going to be, honestly, people that are smarter than you. They've got PhDs, they've got degrees and shit. But there's a few fundamental qualities that make up an entrepreneur. First of all, is taking initiative, taking risks. Now, you've mentioned you spent all of your money on your first product, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And in most cases, the first product does not take off.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think you probably didn't even know that. You had faith. You were like, it's going to work.
110%. I believed in myself.
And you took initiative and it all worked out. So I think regardless of whatever it is you do in life, you open up a restaurant, you do whatever you want. If you're an entrepreneur and you have these fundamental qualities, it's going to work out.
It's consistency.
Exactly. Consistency. So, man, that's absolutely insane. So I want to get a little bit of the other parts of your life. So, like, when you started making money, how did that change some of your relationships, like with friends, with family? Did anything change? Do you think you changed as a person?
Yeah, 100%, boys. There's one thing that's gonna be super clear to you, boys. You guys should have the intentions to whatever you're doing. If your goal is to actually make money, you should have intentions inside your heart, you know? Intentions are very important. You start your prayer with intentions, you know? So my whole intention was to actually make money and not get into the 9 to 5 and actually quit my college and drop out. But that was my intentions, you know? I wasn't interested. I was doing good actually in college, but I wasn't someone who would have thought I would get a 9 to 5. I would, you know, come to my house. Like, thinking about my whole future life and how I would live with my wife, it would suck. It would be a brutal life to live in,
definitely.
you know? Some people are fine with it, which is completely, you know,
that's
up to
cool.
them.
There's nothing wrong with 9 to 5s.
Yeah, I mean, there is something wrong with it, to be honest.
I mean,
Economies don't work without 9 to 5s, right? We have to have like.
Oh, but look, I think we can take it in this way. There's no objective like definition to it. So for some people, they prefer like stability.
The dynamic
But it's
doesn't
not
make
scalable like a business, right? You can't make a lot of money.
Yeah,
doing
so
that.
like how I've mentioned, with a 9 to 5, regardless of how good you are, you're gonna be stuck with that salary. You're gonna have that same salary bracket. You're gonna get like maybe a bit of a promotion. You might even double your salary, but that's as much as you're gonna get. Per month.
You'll be limited outside of your capabilities.
But I mean, yeah, some people are okay with that. Some people aren't. Personally, I kind of relate to what you said. If you have big dreams, you can't really achieve them with it's very unlikely.
Exactly.
Compared to starting a business. So, what are your thoughts on like the other hustles, like for example SMMA, stuff like affiliate market? I think you also have a couple of the ventures.
Yeah, 100%. So right now, I think every business can actually make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single business.
Definitely.
Why? Because every business is actually getting to the next position, and every company is requiring more type of people who are skilled and, you know, requiring.
The demand is increasing.
You know.
I want to ask you one thing though. So a lot of people say that because of the fact that these hustles do so well, that it's actually oversaturated at this point. Do you think that's true with some of these?
It's true, the way that you do it. All right?
100%. 100%.
Yes.
You can speak about drop shipping. I have a few thoughts on SMMA and how like people say it's oversaturated and stuff.
Exactly.
You're exactly right. It's the way you do it.
Is ever oversaturated. It's all about the way that you do it. You should always add a USP, unique selling point, to your business. That's something that I learned from college actually. Alhamdulillah. That's the only thing I actually learned. So USP is basically a unique selling point. And when I started out everything in my life, I tried to add a USP. Whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever it is. The unique selling point can be anything, whether it's the price, it's the way that you market it, or it's the offer that you actually give to the people, you know? If you have a good USP, you can always sell out and you can always stand out more than your customers, you know? And that's what all of these big brands are doing, you know? For example, with KFC, their unique selling point is that they're cheap than McDonald's, you know? That's why they're selling out and their food is good. With McDonald's, the way that they do it is their marketing, you know? The marketing that they do is always
basically real estate. They buy up land, they lease it to franchise owners. So yeah, they all have business. So what would you say is your unique selling point specifically in dropshipping?
In dropshipping, our unique selling point is the fact that we put more effort than all of these other people. Now, when it comes to any other dropshipper, all they do is literally make.
How do you show that you put more effort?
You put more effort by putting more time into it, all right? And of course, not the time that doesn't make sense, the time that you could actually think could work out something for you. For example, in product page, you could either add one picture or you could add 6 pictures.
Yeah.
Going in brief. And the home page, you could either add like a simple one product or you could add 5 different products,
Yeah.
So the more effort you put in, the more you get out, It's all about how much time you put in and how much you can get out.
Presentation of your product and the consistency.
Everything, the GIFs, the videos, how clear you explain it. And of course, in dropshipping, when it comes to dropshipping, the most important thing about dropshipping is the product,
Yeah, you need to make it easier for your customer base to understand what the product is about, how it can be used, and how it's like.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of science that goes into designing stores. It's basically retail. You optimize for maximum conversions, and there's a lot of psychology that goes into. You probably know this better than anyone sitting here, but yeah, I mean, it really makes sense. Doubling the effort can basically exponentially show much better results 100%. Than the competition.
Yes, exactly.
In regards to what you said about it depends on how you do it. Because I have my own marketing business, I can kind of relate to this. So with SMMA, now this is a super saturated industry. Why? Because it's basically something that you can do from home. Now let's say there's like a 17-year-old guy, all right? He's bought a course.
Yeah.
It's the same format. You basically approach clients.
Yep.
You do cold calls. You pitch them your idea. You're like, okay, so do you want to double your revenue, blah, 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 blah. And then you hire contractors and you try to get them results, okay?
Yes.
But now basically everyone's calling everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What happens is you need to be really good or you get left out, right?
Yes.
One way where you can kind of bypass this and still an SMMA, start approaching people in your local market. So for example, let's say you live in somewhere in Eastern Europe, all right?
Yep.
Now your local, let's say, chiropractor does not know English. Now, anyone calling them from America, for example, they're not going to be able to connect with that person because it's the language barrier, the cultural barrier.
Exactly.
But if you're a 17-year-old, 18-year-old guy living in that country in Eastern Europe, you can speak the language. You can connect to that person better. Approach them, talk to them. There's no need to just do what everyone's doing, which is cold calling. Give them an offer, like maybe start out with actual content creation. Start out with like an iPhone, buy a cheap gimbal, record some content, and then get a contract for like 3 months or something. Start pulling out content, giving them results.
Exactly, 100%.
Because like you hire a contractor, what if it doesn't work? Especially when you're new. So there's basically an infinite number of ways where you can make your business unique.
Exactly.
And change things up.
So beautiful. Yes.
And it's all about how you think about things. Sometimes the solutions are right in our face and we don't see them.
Yeah, this is something that I always tell to the people. Yeah, whenever you start something out, you build a wall right in front of your face. You're building a wall, and sometimes you forget to put a brick here and there, and you can't see it unless someone else tells you.
Yeah.
And that's also like when someone tells you and gives you an opinion about what you're doing in life is something that you actually have to extract inside really deep and think about it, because it could be something really important that could actually help you out, because sometimes you can't see what you're doing wrong in life unless someone else tells you,
You need a different perspective to things.
Different perspective.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's very true. But I think it's also important to filter out a lot of that advice that you're getting, because like I said, I've also been working since I was 14 and I've done a whole bunch of different things. And
what have you done?
So, dude, I literally started out at 14 making Minecraft animations and selling them to YouTubers. Wow. So like Unspeakable Gaming, Dan TDM. I used to make those kinds of animations. I don't know if you've followed.
They have like millions of views, right?
They're icons in
music videos. I used to watch them as a kid.
So like little music videos. So like parody of songs, and then we would turn that into Minecraft. And then I started selling like thumbnails, and I basically taught myself Cinema 4D, watching YouTube videos. It's like the 3D software. And then I moved on to creating actual VFX, like real life Avengers type shit.
Beautiful.
Then I started getting clients locally. Bro, I've designed actual luxury watches, like actual shit that's like 30,000 plus. I've designed like actual villas, which are like 20,000 square feet, built up area, architecture, all that. I was 16. And I think I can relate to what you said when you started taking risks. A multi-millionaire guy comes up to you. He's like, I want to get a design of my villa. And I don't know anything about architecture. But what do? You go home, you watch YouTube videos, you read a book. What's architecture? How do I do it? You learn, and then you start working. And then you deliver. And then you see an actual house that you designed.
Yeah, you take the obligation and you build it.
As a 16, 17-year-old. And then I got into real estate, which was an amazing experience because I wanted to get out of my shell. I was super, super introverted. Dude, I could never imagine me sitting in front of a camera and doing a podcast.
Wow.
But
That's beautiful.
The real estate scene was basically so I could learn sales. Dude, with any business, it doesn't matter if you're a PhD, whatever. If you don't know how to sell, it's very... The chances of you scaling it's very slim. So I got into real estate to sort of readjust my personality into being more of an ambivert, like not an introvert, more in the middle. And then I managed to buy my first car at 19. So that's kind of relatable.
Going to relatable, nice.
And that really changed up a lot of things for me. When you get into the ultra high net worth network of people, I'm not saying I am ultra high, not yet. That really changes your perspective on a lot of things. That kind of really gave me a boost into doing a lot of different ventures. So now I have a real estate channel. I record like $10 million mansions and that stuff. And I'm starting my own brand actually.
MashaAllah.
Shopify stuff. Also, I've also done Shopify. So I've made stores for clients and stuff. So that's also something we can relate with. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of stuff that I've done in the past. So I want to ask you this. Do you think money buys happiness? Do you think that's actually true? Because there's a lot of red pill stuff on this that... Dude, I mean, I agree with the fact that you would rather cry in a Lamborghini than in anything else. I don't want to classism. I don't want to name any car. Yeah. But do you think that's inherently true? Like money, does it actually really change your life in such a good way where you're always super, super happy?
It completely depends. I'm going to be very honest. If you're going to get the money, but if you're going to lose a member of your family, that money is not going to matter to you.
100%.
You know, if you get the money while having everyone around you, your friends, your family members, and the true contentment of your religion, Islam, and actually praying to God and being strict on your religion,
having your values in place,
100% money makes you happy. 100% that money will actually get you somewhere further. What would make you money sad at that point?
It gives you the capability to be happier where you are.
Exactly, and it gives you the capability to actually change someone else's life.
100%.
Do something
by
good
having
for other
a higher
people.
purpose.
Yeah, do something good.
Do you
for
think
other
you have
people.
that thing where there's certain goals that are beyond yourself? Like you want to do something for the world with the resources, mashallah, that you have.
Yeah, you know what they say? They say, how big would you dream if you knew you wouldn't fail? That's the true.
It would be infinite.
Infinite, right? That's the true mindset that I have currently right now. Because from the position that I came, 1% chance, less than 1% chance. But, I never thought I would make it out through the things that I struggled with. Because at some point...
Same. I think we can all relate.
Yeah, I just give up on everything completely. I'm like, all right, shit, I'm going to just stay to college, stay with the flow, and I'm not going to do anything else because I'm tired of doing all of this.
Yeah.
But again, it's the heart that doesn't, stick through it, and it doesn't get satisfied with what I'm doing, Because I think about my future, I think about the family that I'm going to have. It just can't be average, and it's completely fine for some people to actually choose that and of course get drugged by the salary, monthly salary and stuff like that, but that's something that I wasn't into, and salary is such a big drug. You guys do not understand, bro. If you actually start a 9-to-5 job, you wouldn't leave it for the next 5-6 months.
Yeah, you'd spend every waking day of those 28 working days just thinking of that one day you'll get that paycheck.
Exactly, and the worst part is literally every person decides to leave the job next month and actually start something for themselves. And right now time goes so fast that you get the paycheck and you see already 1 weekend and you're like, oh, I'm already 1 weekend, I might just stay
and half my paycheck's gone.
2.5, 3 weeks in and I get another paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's what actually sucks because that's what actually gets you older and older.
Yeah,
and
it keeps
older.
you in place. It does not let you grow.
And it keeps you in one place that you do not take action for yourself. You do not better your life. You do not better your family's life. And at that point you're just a lazy person, you know, if I'm being honest. You know, if you can't just do something for your family, for yourself, change your life or their life, what are you doing with your life? You know, you've got an opportunity, especially for the people who lives in Dubai, bro. You have got the biggest networking, the biggest opportunity. You could literally go out on the street and start, you know, some sort of a business, get an idea for a business, you know.
Yeah.
The biggest markets are based here.
Yeah, bro, living in Dubai is such a blessing, but a lot of teenagers and a lot of people don't actually understand
They
this.
take it for granted.
They take it for granted, and they do not realize until it's something that's gone, or maybe they travel to another country and they realize it was the true beauty of this country, you know?
You know, I think with a lot of people, having a comfort zone where a lot of people, their parents are bringing money and you don't have to do anything, that kind of puts a lot of people in a comfort zone where they're like, they're not going to do anything unless something causes them to change.
Yeah, there's no necessity to take change, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that's completely fine. But look, if someone decides not to do anything, I'm cool with that. It's their life. This is my life. But again, it's about that higher purpose, because you're not going to get there by, you need money to change the world, right? If we're all going to make a difference.
Money is power,
That's power, right? So I think it's important to take risk, especially when you're young, because again, you have your parents to back you up in case you fail and stuff like that. And
nothing
once you
to
have
lose, you have a safety net. You know?
exactly, you have a safety net. So, but in regards to the happiness thing, I see a lot of videos on this. But there's this concept in psychology. It's called hedonic adaptation. What that means is, everyone has a baseline for happiness. So let's say every day you wake up, you have a certain mood. It's always usually stable. Now let's say you buy your first car. That baseline, you're gonna be excited. It's gonna go up.
yeah.
But it's gonna come back down
Downhill,
after a while.
yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna come back to the baseline.
Yep.
Now let's say, God forbid, something bad happens. Okay, you're gonna be depressed for a while. But it's
Yep.
going to come back to that baseline.
It's going to come back to that, exactly.
So there was this study with psychologists. They measured the happiness levels of people who won lotteries. And they did the same experiment for people who ended up on a wheelchair. And it turned out the baseline of happiness was basically very similar for both groups, regardless of whether they were on a wheelchair or
That's deep.
So I guess this is just a way of the brain to, because we keep on chasing more and more. If you get happy with like a normal car or a normal job or a normal size of your, like a regular sized business, you're not going to want to grow more. And that's what this is. It keeps you chasing more and more and more, which can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. But again, you have that safety, like regardless of if anything bad happens to you, you're still going to eventually come to terms with stuff, and it's going to be on that baseline.
True. Makes so much sense. You know, what you said is so beautiful, you know, because at the end of the day, happiness and sadness and depression, everything is like, you know, an uphill and downhill, you know.
Exactly.
But it just keeps being on the same base, you know. But living in Dubai, right, a lot of teenagers actually don't see the benefit of actually living in Dubai, and they don't see how every other teenager is busy at something else rather than actually, you know, making money by, you know, thinking about their future. And that's why for the 1% of the teenagers who actually take action, they actually get successful. The reason is that the 99% is actually not taking action.
There's not as much competition.
Exactly.
There's no drive, there's no consistency,
Yeah.
there's no discipline.
There is no competition completely, right? If you actually take the chance to, you know, completely change your life or do something about it or actually make money, you could literally be in the top 1% by just taking action here
Especially
in
in
Dubai.
this time scale, because everyone is just sitting on their phone all day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're one of them, and now you're helping other people do the same, right?
Exactly.
So what's the deal with like the hustler recom thing? What exactly is it like?
So look, again, that's the 1% of people who actually take action, you know. The people who actually joins my mentorship program is the top 1% that actually takes action and changes something about their life, their routine, and, you know, they start making money. The reason is that there isn't much competition in e-commerce and dropshipping here in Dubai. And the other reason is that there isn't much competition in the same age group that they have. For example, from, you know, 16 to 21 to 22-year-old, there is no competition. Every kid is busy at school with, you know, college or completely different with partying and all of that stuff, you know. So if you actually take a chance to actually better your life and actually take, you know, the risk, as they call it, you could literally be the top 1%, you know, separate than all of the other 99%, just because you actually took a step forward to better your life, you know. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened with, alhamdulillah, all of us that we are sitting in this table, you know. We are now in the top 1% because we have taken an action to better our lives and to do something about it, you know.
Exactly. And you know, it's if you improve by 1% every single day, not a lot, just 1%. Let's say you learn a new skill. Let's say you learn how to improve a certain thing in your Shopify store, or let's say you learn a certain thing about cars. That 1% improvement is going to accumulate over time.
You'll be a different person by next month.
You're going to be a completely different person by that. It's all about improving. And I think we can say the same in the opposite direction. A 1% decline in who you are, in terms of your skills, in terms of your knowledge, can accumulate.
Yeah, the compound effect.
People like to say that they hit rock bottom, but there's never a fixed rock bottom for everyone. There's always a bigger hole to fall down.
Yeah. But, you know, like there's a lot of weird stuff these days, a lot of weird beliefs. I think it's important to have diversity in a society in terms of beliefs and stuff. But, like, you have people who believe in, like, flat earth stuff and conspiracies.
Baffles you.
So what do you think about this whole scene where there's like thousands of people who actually believe that the earth is flat?
So deep down I believe that the earth is flat. As you guys can see, my home screen is literally, you know, the earth as a circle.
Yeah.
But this is not something I believe in, you know.
I want to actually show you guys this map.
It's probably like
so apparently this is like the larger flat earth map. It shows our continents, and it shows Antarctica and Greenland as a ring that separates us from this whole other world outside.
The ice wall, yeah.
Exactly. So you've got stuff like Gemini, you've got, I don't know what these are. And then there's another ring of like mountains, they call it the mountain ring. And that separates you from like, dude, whole continents that are bigger than
This is actually something that, you know, I studied about, and something that actually makes so much sense, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Can I see the map? Yeah.
This is actually the true map of the world. A lot of people doesn't believe in it, but if you actually study it deep down, you actually see that, you know, the world just goes straight. If you drive in a straight road, you never see a point where you're actually supposed to go down, you know?
Is there a whole continent called ISIS? What the hell? I think it's, no, look at it. What the
Dude,
I think it's the Egyptian god or something, like the false god.
Crazy.
There's a whole thing called ISIS. But yeah, no, okay, guys, we're just gonna be legit.
That's where they come from.
He does not actually believe the earth is flat. Just
I might believe in it. Oh, you guys never know. I'm just playing.
But yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. You know, with conspiracy theories, as crazy as some of them might sound,
It spread like a plague.
as crazy as some of them might sound, some of them actually end up being true.
Like the aliens.
Yeah.
The aliens, something that is 100%. I don't know how some people doesn't believe in alien. They actually even showed it the other day in the Congress, and it actually looks so real. And my uncle told me one time that he actually saw an alien coming out of the flight.
He saw an alien on like a flight. Was it like on the airplane?
Yeah, no, it was 3 a.m. He said I went out to the bathroom and stuff like that. He had a villa and stuff, and he actually saw like 2 aliens getting down and 2 of them going up. I think they were on a mission.
How did they look?
They look like aliens. That is, you know, they look like aliens. And my uncle, unfortunately, he didn't have charge on his phone to actually go film it.
Should have.
So were they like tall?
No, they were very short. Actually,
Were they wearing clothes?
I'm not really sure what you know they look like, but that's what my uncle told me. And my uncle actually told me that, you know, as much as I can, I should stay away from aliens, because aliens looked really dangerous.
Yeah, dude. You know, you gotta stay away.
Gotta stay away from aliens.
I guess.
Have you ever had an alien encounter?
I don't think so, man.
No, really?
I don't recall. Yeah.
So, but you know, seriously though, if you look at the fact that we have billions upon billions of galaxies, and each of those galaxies has billions and billions of stars.
And this is only in the observable universe.
Only in the observable universe.
SubhanAllah.
The fact that there's more stars out there than the grains of sand on Earth combined. So, like, common sense says that there definitely needs to be something out there.
100%, yeah.
But there's like a lot of theories to why we've not seen it. And that's the whole concept is called the Fermi paradox. So there are certain theories like I believe it's like the dark forest theory, where like, for example, you're in a forest and you're like some animal, like a fox or something, and it's nighttime. You're not going to make a noise. You're not going to alert the predators of your presence. Mm-hmm. So this basically says like, if there are aliens, then there's like a bigger threat out there, and out of fear of that, they don't emit any sort of radio signals. So everyone's quiet.
And we're the only stupid ones.
And
I think we send signals or some shit, right?
So basically a lot of the radio communication on Earth goes out into space. So we've basically been blasting information into space randomly. And we don't know what's out there.
And I think apart from that, like there's some agency and stuff. They're actually trying to communicate with extraterrestrials.
Yeah. Oh, they did.
So we're the only ones making noise.
We've actually sent out actual signals onto space with the intention of communicating with aliens. Now we haven't gotten any sort of responses as a consequence of that.
Well, how did they send it? They have a big speaker, or like?
So it's basically.
It's a legitimate question.
And so sound can't travel into space because it's a vacuum. So there's no molecules for the sound to be transmitted. There's no room for vibrations. Yeah. So how that works is through radio communication. So you basically just send out a signal onto space and just hope someone receives it.
What do they say in the mic?
In the thing?
Yeah.
Well, you can basically do. You can basically send out certain mathematical, because mathematics is basically this universal language. So you can send out signals that form mathematical equations and then hope that they are gonna decrypt those and decode it. So because, for example, there's certain bodies in space that naturally like emit radio waves. Mm-hmm. But those, it's kind of obvious that this is not from a living thing because there's no pattern to it. But if an alien civilization, they receive a message from humans and it's like in a proper pattern, mm-hmm. you know that this is something that's done by an intelligent entity. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how this works. There's also another theory that says that the universe is just too young, like we don't have the proper conditions yet on planets as much to have life be spread out as evenly. So like, according to this, if this is true, then we are one of the first alien species in the universe, or in at least our perimeter of the galaxy.
So do you guys know about Project Bluebeam?
Yeah.
So this Project Bluebeam is actually very scary, and it actually makes so much sense. So what they said is that at the end of times, when they want to bring the Antichrist, right, the Dajjal, they're actually gonna make these fake religions, and they're gonna actually say that there's something that's endangering them unless they believe in the Dajjal, So that's one of the things. It's actually aliens, If you guys didn't see what happened in France, is they actually turned on the emergency audio, like the emergency announcement, mm-hmm. and the whole reason was that there's aliens in the country. I don't know if you guys have seen the clip. We can actually post here. Mm. But their whole reason is there's actually a book written about it, the Project Bluebeam. And this whole Project Bluebeam is to actually make the people believe in a God that, astaghfirullah, isn't the true God, which is Dajjal, They want to make them believe in him. And Dajjal is, of course, the biggest fitna. So for the biggest fitna in the entire world, what do you think these people or the Satan wouldn't do for it? They would do everything and anything to make it seem real.
So the theory is like they're going to create a fake threat and they're going to present the solution, the Antichrist.
Yeah. Exactly. Did you guys see the aliens that they presented?
In Mexico?
Yeah, that shit is retarded, bro.
Dude,
it's cake.
And it's none of that is real. Like, dude, if aliens were to approach Earth, do you think they would just be so stupid that they've traveled tens, hundreds, if not like thousands of light years, and they just die? They come to Earth and
that
crash.
2,000 years ago or something.
Yeah. So I know that's nonsense. I mean, with the news, a lot of what they try to get out is to get engagement and to get people to be interested. Publicity. Yeah. So I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff. That's it doesn't make sense.
We shouldn't.
It's just the next hot topic, honestly.
Yeah. But Dude, I think we can wrap this up. It was
an amazing podcast. I think we all actually enjoyed, had a good time. Inshallah, we're gonna have one more again. Inshallah, maybe in the next 1 month.
Definitely,
Let's see how this one does. And
Definitely.
I think people actually enjoyed this podcast. Whoever was watching until now is a real G.
We enjoyed
mashallah.
having you on, man.
Thank you, my bro. Appreciate you. Likewise. Wallahi,
And
thank
I wanna say this one thing. Now I know there's haters everywhere, like regardless of what you're doing. But with this guy, I can tell you my experience. When I reached out to him, this guy's literally been one of the most nicest people I've
Jazakallah
came
khair,
across
bro. I
online.
appreciate you, my bro.
The way he treats you, the way he talks, it's really positive.
Exactly.
And that's my experience. That's what I've experienced, and I hope we can build a friendship out of this. 'Cause
Inshallah, 100%. That's what we look forward to, my bro.
I love the vibe, man,
Yeah,
and
likewise,
keep the
bro.
hustle going.
Wayak, my bro.
And definitely like you keep me in touch about what's going on in
100%,
life.
inshallah.
And yeah, we really hope to do one more time. And so, guys, I want to say this to you: your opinion matters. Your feedback really matters. This is starting out. This is really a project that I need your feedback on. So anything that you guys think we can improve, let us know, and your feedback will be much appreciated. All right, so I guess that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Amazing
Sick.
podcast.
Awesome, man.
Alhamdulillah.